Plane departs to bring second American Ebola patient back to the United States. What's going on, guys? Make Electric. It is Tuesday, August the 5th, 2014. I got a ton of stuff to give you on this Ebola outbreak. Let me start with this. A Phoenix Air jet en route to pick up a second American Ebola virus patient. U.S. official told ABC News. This came out on August 3rd. I'll put a link to it. This plane is due back in the United States today. Let me just say something right off the bat, because people have been accused of not caring for this doctor that's already been brought back. He's an American. He went over there to help. He's a doctor. I do care. If it's the official story that this man went over there to help, got infected with Ebola, I very much care. He needs to be given the best medical treatment possible. But we do not have to do that inside the United States. He could have been given this care wherever he was, or I know for a fact the United States Navy can set up a floating quarantine center in the ocean, and they could fly to this man anything he needs. So it's not like I don't care about him. Like I said, if it's the official story, my heart goes out to him, and he deserves the best we can give him. However, the official story is messed up. The second link's going to be to the video where this ambulance supposedly carried this guy from the airport to the hospital. No police escort, just casually driving down the road. This is a man who's supposedly carrying one of the most dangerous viruses on the planet, a 90% fatality rate. Not only that, but when they get to the hospital, he walks out of the ambulance. Who walks out of an ambulance that's in grave condition? That's what they said his condition was, grave condition. He walks out of the ambulance, walks across some sharp gravel into the hospital. You can watch the video. That's exactly what happens. I would think that if this man was truly carrying one of the most dangerous viruses on the planet, he would be strapped and covered in plastic. How's he just walking around in grave condition? It doesn't make any sense, man. Now, people have said maybe it's a decoy. That could be true, but then again, if they felt the need to use a decoy, why would they tell us about this at all? They could have easily brought him to the United States and kept it a secret. Why the media coverage? Very strange stuff. I got a ton of links to give you here. Mount Sinai patient tested for Ebola virus. This is going on in New York. Apparently a man come back from Africa has the symptoms of Ebola. We won't know those results for a couple days. Be advised if you're in the New York area. Ebola terror at Gatwick as passenger collapses and dies getting off Sierra Leone flight. They tested this person for Ebola. I believe it was negative, but just got back from that part of the world too, collapsed and died. Reuters has this: exposure of health workers weakens Ebola fight. A lot of doctors getting sick. You know, these are trained professionals supposedly taking maximum precautions. How is it that all these doctors are getting sick if this crap is not airborne? I'll put a link below that from the American Dream. More than 100 health workers fighting Ebola have contracted it themselves. This came out August 1. I submit to you that this may very well be airborne. Of course, I can't prove that. Ebola victims lay dead in the streets. Here's an article out of Africa. They're turning these people away from the hospital. They're dying laying in the street. They're refusing to bury the bodies because they don't want to deal with it. Philippines reports possible Ebola cases. This came out 8/2/2014. Put a link to this. Got one from Red Flag. Obama brings Ebola into America after signing executive order to detain sick Americans. It's very interesting, is it not? CDC downplays threat of Ebola outbreak on U.S. soil as American patient arrives in Atlanta. This came out on August 3rd from the Washington Free Beacon. Put a link to that. Now, GLP thread. Ebola waste from victims at Emory Hospital will be flushed into the public sewer system. Is this true? I'll put a link to it. Think about that. One of the most dangerous viruses on the planet. Leaked CBP reports shows entire world exploiting the open United States border. Let's talk about our border for a minute. People are pouring into this country, bringing all sorts of diseases to our Border Patrol agents. Ebola may already be here, maybe in several locations. In fact, I'm going to give you this link from Breitbart. I'm going to give you a link somebody sent me. This is Google Maps of, let's see, relocations of unaccompanied immigrant minors, updated 8/4/2014. Look at the areas all around the United States, coastal lines, where they're putting these immigrants. And I'll put a link from cdc.gov. Take a look at U.S. quarantine stations all around the coastal cities. Is that an amazing coincidence? Your thoughts on that? Nightmare bacteria. We got other news going on. Nightmare bacteria spreading rapidly in southern United States. This was updated August 3rd from RT. We got San Diego County. Mouse test positive for hantavirus. Squirrels positive for the plague. This come out on August 2nd, although I don't know this source. I'll put a link to it if you want to look into it further. We got this thing going on up in Toledo, Ohio, lifting the ban. Toledo says its water is safe to drink again. I know the water supply being toxic in the Toledo area has nothing to do with the Ebola patient coming into the United States, but I think it's interesting that both events happened on the same day. Was there some sort of dry run going on in Toledo? Did they purposefully do this to the water? People are saying it's some sort of toxic algae on the lake. I don't know. I think it's very interesting that they both happen in the same day, though. Now let me tie this Ebola outbreak back to Operation Blackjack. There's a slide in Operation Blackjack that says all citizens are obligated with immediate effect to make contact with their approved health provider to arrange to receive a one-time vaccination against a range of biological and chemical agents. There's no charge for this implant. Failure to comply could result in unlimited prison term. I'll put a link to the slide. For those of you who do not know, Operation Blackjack is that fictitious, I want to emphasize fictitious, slideshow that ran in the Telegraph years ago. If you want to research that, just Google Operation Blackjack. You'll find plenty of information. That's the multiple city nuclear false flag attack that happened. Let me ask you a question. Could the Ebola virus be pre-Operation Blackjack? You know, scare the hell out of everybody right before they pull off a big false flag. That way, when it happens and people say you got to take these vaccines because of Ebola or whatever else, people will line up to do it. Maybe they'll even take the RFID chip. Now, I realize this sounds paranoid conspiracy theory, but I can't help but to try to connect all this stuff together. It's just interesting, is it not? Not to mention all of the military drills we've seen over the past few years in major metropolitan cities. It would seem to me that our government is prepared for something. We've all been talking about this for a long time. You know, FEMA coffins, FEMA camps. Makeshift FEMA camps are already going on in the southern, for the illegal immigrants. More coming. You know, these prisons that have armed guards guarding them with nobody in them. Maybe those are going to be from the dissenters who refuse to take the vaccination or to take the chip. I don't know. You know, my mind wonders. Please tell me what you think about all this stuff. I want to put a couple more links. You want to check out Monograph's latest Project BioShield, sponsored by the U.S. government. He's got some interesting information there. Definitely. One more at the bottom. You know, a lot of truth is told of us in the movies. The secret government, as told in the X-Files, the first movie. Listen to them talk about how they could suspend, FEMA can allow the White House to suspend constitutional government upon declaration of a national emergency. And then take a look and wonder if this Ebola virus gets out of hand in the United States. We could very easily find ourselves in that situation. What little constitution we have left, gone. And you think they're not coming for the guns? Oh, I guarantee you they are. Please tell me your thoughts on all this. Please rate the video. Please pass it around. Share the information. Remain vigilant on this Ebola. It could be just a big, ginormous psyop, but for what? Get the people prepared for something else that might be coming? A lot of directions you can go with this one. Like I said, remain vigilant. You guys take care, stay safe. I will see you on the next one.